The FH diagnosis gave us a name instead of just having to shrug and say, I don't know, it just runs in the family. It gave us a name and it gave us education and empowerment.
I feel like we found the Wilson family curse. Everybody knew it was a genetic thing in the Wilson family. All the men are gone. You know, they left too soon. And they didn't have any idea about this. I just figured it all out.
It felt exhilarating. It felt really good to put a name and a diagnosis to what I had known all my life.
To get that name of a diagnosis saying, Aditi, you have familial hypercholesterolemia. And once you have a name, you can get information. The diagnosis itself changed my life. The diagnosis gave me hope because once you got that name, you got the medication that was attached to it.
It oddly gives you a sense of peace of mind to know that at least what I'm dealing with has a name and has research and resources behind it. And then the Lp(a) diagnosis came along. I had never heard of lipoprotein A, or Lp(a) as we call it. I'd never heard of it. I'd always been so focused on my FH, and then when the FH Foundation expanded their mission to include people with high Lp(a) and become the Family Heart Foundation, I thought, oh, well, maybe that's something I should look into as well.
The news of Lp(a) diagnosis has changed my life, and I think multifaceted. I think one, we're not promised tomorrow. Then there's this other side of me that wants to go tell the world and scream and yell that everyone should get checked.
It felt like a little bit of a death sentence at first when I got those test results back, or at least it felt like a very dire sort of outlook on my future. Nobody had ever specifically called out lipoprotein a. Had I known that I had a high level of lipoprotein a, then when I started having those first heart attack symptoms, I would have taken it seriously. I would have known that I have a greater chance of this happening. And I think I would have incurred less damage to my heart.
Just like with my FH diagnosis, the Lp(a) diagnosis tells me at least I know what I'm dealing with. So while there's not a treatment right now for Lp(a), I know I'm still in treating my FH. I'm still doing everything I can to mitigate all the other risk factors so that having high Lp(a) doesn't have to result in a cardiac event.
I would love to see a world in which everyone knows what their lipoprotein a is, so they can sort of understand themselves and their health concerns a little bit better.
I'm surely not the first person to have unexplained heart attack so young, and I won't be the last. And I'm hopeful that we'll get answers to that in my lifetime. I'm hopeful we'll find more people, and the Family Heart Foundation will be able to include more people and reach more families to help them.